You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is Wake Up Idaho.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Idaho. We're glad you're with us on this Thursday. I'm Maggie O'Mara.
I'm Justin Cora. Let's talk about what's in the news today. And we start with two major headlines this morning. We have the latest on that collapsed airplane hangar that killed 3 people and injured 9 people.
Also, what we know this morning about a brutal homicide that happened in Nampa. We'll tell you about that as well. But we do need to begin with our continuing coverage of breaking news this morning after a private hangar under construction collapsed near the Boise airport.
Now, here's what the hangar looked like as of yesterday morning. There it is right there. You can see it's being built. And then you can see a picture of the collapsed structure right there. Just a pile of rubble, twisted metal. We've been following this story closely ever since it happened around 5 o'clock last night. This is what we know so far. Boise Fire says 3 people are dead, 9 others hurt. 5 of those 9 are in critical condition at local hospitals.
Our Hector Mendoza live right near the scene this morning. It happened near the Jackson Jet Center. Hector, it's just a horrible scene behind you there, but what have we learned since this happened last night?
I know that one of the things that was a big concern was just is it going to affect places in the airport, but this is separate from that. This is its own private hangar here, so that's something that people can keep in mind, is that it's not really going to affect any of the operations in the airport. But I am going to step aside for just a bit, just to show you what we can see here just up close. That cave-in right there with that hangar, with the crane that is there, just kind of collapsed, and all the damage that it caused. And we know that lots of people were injured. We had 3 fatalities, so just something that was just absolutely devastating. And Boise Fire Division Chief Aaron Hummel says that they found out about this collapse, like Justin said, around 5 o'clock. Here's video of the Jackson Jet Center hangar from a bit earlier. You can see dozens of emergency vehicles and first responders and steel on the ground. Again, the middle of that building caved in, and the Jet Center said it was a 39,000 square foot steel hangar.
Yeah, there was a large-scale collapse of the building, the framework of the building. I don't know what caused it, but I can tell you that it was a pretty global collapse that occurred. The main structural members came down. It was fairly catastrophic.
Boise Airport's director said that the project was in early stages and only framework was up. Hummel says initial reports stated 30 people were working in the area. Everyone in or around the collapsed area is accounted for. Boise Fire worked to reunite those people with their loved ones. Again, 3 people were killed and 9 were injured, with 5 in critical condition this morning. Boise Fire says their crews first on scene worked to stabilize the chaotic situation and rescued multiple victims.
That they were having to make just based on where some of the victims were located in the collapsed area. There was some type of hoist of some sort that they were elevated. They had to conduct some sort of a technical rescue to get them down.
Crews have been on scene all night long and are still here. There are still crew here. And again, Wright Street will be closed. So Maggie, Justin, we will continue to keep you guys informed and update you with more information as we get with it.
Just such a view, a devastating view behind you. Thank you for that, Hector. And St. Alphonsus did say emergency and trauma teams work closely with emergency first responders to provide immediate care and treat patients arriving from the scene. A St. Luke spokesperson said it is treating one of those people who was injured at their Boise Medical Center as well.
Now, neither Chief Hummel there nor the Jet Center said they know why the hangar collapsed yet. They did say, though, a crane that appeared to be involved in the project collapsed as well. And you saw that in the live shot there behind Hector, that crane sort of somewhat still standing, but also partially knocked over after that collapse. In a statement, a Jackson Jet Center spokesperson said, quote, "Our hearts go out to everyone affected by this horrific event, especially those with loved ones on site when this tragedy occurred. We are immensely grateful for the rapid and professional response of Boise Fire, Boise Police, and Ada County paramedics, along with the expert care of our area hospitals."
Now, crews have been on scene all night long. They are still there this morning. Wright Street will be closed today. So we'll continue to check in throughout this hour for you right here on Channel 7. We also have full coverage if you've missed any of this live report online right now at KTVB.com.
Yeah, and we also want to thank all of the first responders who helped people, truly saved lives last night. That includes Boise Fire, Gowan Field Fire Department, Boise Police, and also the Ada County paramedics.
And of course, the crews at our hospitals. We looked into City of Boise building permits, and we found the contractor on this project is Big D Builders. The Boise Airport posted on social media last night saying, quote, "We understand that neighbors on our airfield are suffering tonight after this incident. Our thoughts are with those involved and with their families."
Take a look. Here's another angle of the collapsed hangar from a viewer, Wendy Albright, as she was driving by relatively right after this happened. You can see again that devastation right there, the building just collapsing. You can also again see that crane that might have been involved in this somehow. We're still trying to figure that out. And again, investigators still say they don't know the cause of this quite yet.
Yes, they don't know if the crane took out the hangar or if the hangar somehow brought the crane down. But of course, investigators on scene today looking into that. More coverage on our website. Well, we have another top story to get to this morning. Police are investigating a homicide that happened in Nampa. The Nampa Police Department says a man was found dead with stab wounds in an alley on 3rd Avenue yesterday morning. That man has been identified as 29-year-old Abel Sayens from Caldwell. Police say one person is in custody. They have not released that suspect's name, though. Charges are still pending, and police believe this was an isolated incident.
A judge in Idaho's 4th District Court is dismissing a lawsuit brought forward by Idaho Attorney General Raul Labrador. That lawsuit was against the Idaho State Board of Education. The lawsuit was aimed at the University of Idaho's purchase of the University of Phoenix. Lawsuit was filed back in June, claiming that the State Board of Ed violated open meeting laws regarding that purchase. The board, though, released a statement after this, saying in part, quote, "We are very disciplined about following requirements established under Idaho's open meeting law for executive sessions." As Judge Scott stated in his opinion, the Board of Regents of the University of Idaho reasonably believed it was in competition with other public agencies in other states to acquire the University of Phoenix, end quote. Now, we spoke to Attorney General Labrador, who says he still believes the judge ruled incorrectly.
The whole purpose of government is to be open and transparent to the public, and the people of Idaho have a duty and a responsibility and a right to know what's happening in the state. This was a $700 million transaction that has been done without input from the public, without input from the elected officials who represent the people of Idaho, and I think it's important that decisions like these are made openly.
Labrador says his office is considering appealing the judge's decision to the state Supreme Court.
Blood supply levels in Idaho got a much-needed boost yesterday. The Red Cross hosted a blood drive at our Statehouse where our elected officials rolled up their sleeves to donate. The American Red Cross of Greater Idaho says blood supply levels are critically low right now. Governor Little said one of the best things to do right now is to bring awareness to that.
We need to make people aware of the fact that there's a big percent of our blood supply that is people that take time out of their day to go donate. So that was, a lot of it was about awareness of the necessity and the importance of donating blood.
Red Cross says they collected 66 units of life-saving blood. Governor Little and Idaho's Secretary of State Phil McGrain also declared January 31st Red Cross Day.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
Well, we are flipping the calendar today to the month of February, but look how we wrapped up January. These were our observed high temperatures from yesterday. Of note, of course, those temperatures in the 60s in the Treasure Valley. 66 for Boise was an all-time record for the month of January. 50 in McCall was a daily record, a high temperature record for yesterday as well. And Jerome also set a high temperature record for January 31st with 61 degrees. Even Stanley was at 50 yesterday. Pretty phenomenal conditions. So that's a wrap, right? January 2024 now in our rearview mirror. What a temperature swing we saw from the middle of the month to the end of the month. Remember those 2 mornings in the middle of the month, the 15th and the 16th? We hit 3 degrees in Boise, then ended yesterday with 66. That was the 3rd day in a row of record warmth to end the month. And we saw over 22 inches of snow in a month where we typically see about 5. So as we look ahead now to today, we have set another high temperature record for February 1st. This one happened at 4 o'clock this morning. Boise was at 60 degrees. That breaks the record of 59 for February 1st, the coolest we've been so far today. 54 in Boise. We're sitting at 56 right now. Those mild temperatures helped along by those southeasterly winds still gusting out there at 20 miles per hour. That's actually our sustained wind speed. We've had gusts even greater than that. So temperatures everywhere very mild. In fact, a lot of what we've seen already or are seeing right now will likely be the high temperatures for today. And then we'll just kind of moderate out in the Treasure Valley in those mid 50s throughout most of our Thursday. The difference today, while we keep the wind and the warmth, we also have precipitation coming in. So that rain is intensifying, especially east of Boise, turning over to some very high elevation snow. We're seeing light rain in eastern Oregon right now. Boise itself, no precipitation yet, but a few sprinkles are coming, and we'll have a much more persistent rain tonight as a cold front comes through. Let's talk about mountain snow quickly, shall we? Look at the snow stake at Tamarack, 6,600 feet. The temperature's at 35 degrees, so that snow level is about 7,000 to 7,500 feet right now. Very high, but will start to come down as we do have a cold front sitting off the west coast that will come in tonight. That will combine with this atmospheric river that has just been hammering California with really heavy rain right now. And so for us, those two things will interact, and that will keep that soaking rain in play tonight into tomorrow morning. And as temperatures drop, we'll have much heavier snow coming to the higher elevation. So a winter weather advisory from 11 o'clock this morning through late tomorrow night for that snowfall around Sun Valley and up into Stanley. As we look ahead to this evening, be ready for a wet drive home. If you don't have a wet drive into work, looks like by 5 or 6 o'clock tonight, there's that soaking rain we expect. There's that higher elevation mountain snow. Snow levels will drop overnight. So McCall, Stanley, Haley, all should have snow on the ground by tomorrow morning. Rain will likely persist at least through midday tomorrow, possibly hanging on to some showers through Saturday morning. And then temperatures drop as well, back down into the mid 40s over the weekend, but drier weather coming in on Sunday.
All right, looking pretty good. Rachel, thank you.
Well, coming up, we have an update on a case about a deadly crash that killed a beloved teacher and coach last February. We'll tell you what we know.
Here's a look at your current traffic right now as you maybe think about getting out on your morning commute. Things moving along pretty well right now. Now's a good time to get out there.
Let's do a little something. Okay. Maggie, do you want to? Okay. Can't believe we already set a record for today. Our weather's so freaking weird right now. It's so weird.
That's why we need you.
I know. To make sense of the weirdness? I don't know.
Okay, let us know.
Okay. Can you hear Dakota?
Yeah, I
okay.
can hear Dakota.
Yep. After 3 days in a row of record warmth, we've already set a record for February 1st today. Boise hit 60 degrees at 4 a.m. Temperatures throughout the day today will just kind of hang out now in the low to mid 50s. The difference is we do bring rain into the picture. Showers early this morning, high elevation mountain snow will hang around for most of our Thursday, becoming a more persistent rain tonight as a cold front comes through. We've got wind and rain in the forecast tomorrow and cooler temperatures, highs back down into the 40s to wrap up the work week.
If you live or drive in Kuna, you need to know about this. Police say there's been a rise in car burglaries. Kuna PD shared on social media that folks' belongings are being stolen overnight or early in the morning. They say you need to make sure that you are taking important items out of your car overnight and locking your car. If you see something suspicious, please call Ada County Non-Emergency Dispatch at the number on your screen, 208-377-6790.
Right now, it is 6:14, and 28-year-old Sean Stacy is facing charges after a deadly crash last February. He's charged with felony vehicular manslaughter after a crash that killed 65-year-old Loma Biddick. She was a beloved teacher and coach at Greenleaf Friends Academy. Our partners at the Idaho Press report both Loma and her husband were driving on Friends Road in Greenleaf last February when Stacy ran a stop sign and hit their truck. Loma and her husband were both ejected. Loma died at the hospital. her husband survived. And during yesterday's arraignment, a judge set Stacy's bond at $100,000. The judge said because Stacy has been convicted of a crime before, the state could seek aggravated penalties and give him a longer sentence if he is convicted. Stacy scheduled back in court on February 14th.
A Caldwell man will spend 2 decades in prison for possessing and intending to distribute fentanyl and meth. Court records show that Rigoberto Hernandez had almost 20,000 fentanyl pills, almost 14 pounds of meth, and also 3 guns when he was arrested last April. After he gets out of prison, Hernandez also has to serve 5 years of supervised release. Coming up next in sports, could Boise State pull off a major upset on one of the toughest courts to play on in the country last night? The excitement in my voice is a clue. That is next.
All right, and here's a look at your weather for the next 7 days. Right now it's 57 degrees. We're already at our high, if you can believe that. We do have rain showers coming our way, some breezy conditions. Rachel has your forecast coming up.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
It is 6:19. Let's talk about your 3 things to know for this Thursday, February 1st. Here's a fun fact to wow your friends with. We've already set a temperature record for today. 4th day in a row of record warmth. We hit 60 degrees at the Boise airport at 4 o'clock this morning. So record warmth again to kick off this brand new month. However, the difference today is that we do have precipitation that has moved in overnight, and we are seeing rain showers already. I'm going to step off camera and get my clicker to work for you. That's what we needed, was me off camera for it to work. So rain throughout the day, high elevation mountain snow. Also, we're already seeing some very high elevation snow. We're talking above 8,000 feet right now. But as temperatures slowly start to drop behind a cold front that will come through tonight, we will see those snow levels also starting to drop. It is very comfortable out there, though, as long as you don't mind some wind. We still have a 20-mile-per-hour sustained wind in Boise. So ladies, hair in a ponytail or maybe a hat today, if you've got long hair, still might be in order. We're at 56 right now, but look at the rain that has been coming in. Still pretty dry in Boise itself. Light showers across Canyon County and a more persistent rain along I-84 east of Boise. We have winter weather advisories that are in effect for the mountains. Later today, temperatures, though, will hover in the 50s in Boise, so pretty comfy for February 1st.
Rachel, thank you. Let's talk some sports. The Boise State men's hoops team probably still celebrating this morning because they went on the road in one of the toughest places to play in the entire country at New Mexico and beat the 19th ranked Lobos 86-78 last night. This is New Mexico's first home loss of the season. The Broncos' Max Rice, who's had some major shooting troubles, hopefully silenced his critics last night with a career-high 35 points. He called this one of the bigger wins in program history. Omar Stanley had 14 rebounds to go along with that. Boise State at home Saturday against Air Force. We are just 9 days away from the start of softball season, believe it or not. Once again, Boise State will be one of the teams to beat in the Mountain West. Yesterday, they were picked to finish second in the conference preseason poll. Only San Diego State was slotted ahead of the Broncos. This is going to be year number 3 of the Justin Schultz era. In his tenure, the Broncos have won 72 games, including a program record-tying 40 victories back in 2022. In addition to the team accolades, a trio of Broncos landed on the preseason all-conference team. Senior pitcher Taylor Caudill, senior outfielder Jordan Hutchins, and junior outfielder Mackenzie Hanna all recognized. Caudill went 15-8 with a 2.72 ERA last year. Hutchins hit .323 with 11 home runs. Hanna hit .357 with 10 bombs. Broncos open up against Northwestern next Friday. More Wake Up Idaho after this. 6:24 a.m. on your Thursday morning. Let's take a look at your traffic right now. Things moving along just fine. Roads are dry again. We need to tell you that Wright Street, right in front of the airport, closed this morning after that building collapse. We have much more online at KTVB.com about that, and coming up in about 5 minutes from Hector, who's live out there. In the meantime, though, let's change gears and talk about what's brewing this morning. McDonald's launching their take on a real-life Where's Waldo, but with the Hamburglar. There he is. Found him. I win. The Hamburglar going on a coast-to-coast road trip in this custom 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. The car features bun-like hubcaps, a spare tire designed as a giant cheeseburger, And those who spot him and scan the code on his car will get a gift card and Hamburglar-inspired merch.
I mean, my big question, is it legitimately someone in a Hamburglar
I think
suit
it is.
driving the car?
So if you see that here in Idaho, let us know about it. It looked like he had some burgers too in the middle compartment there. Maybe
Also,
to throw out at people.
Is that safe to drive in a Hamburglar outfit? Not a lot
I
of
don't know.
peripheral vision there.
You gotta
but-
take the mask off.
We'll
I don't
see.
know.
We'll see where it pops up, right? Well, it's now February, the month of romance, chocolate, and the color pink. Also, the month of Rachel's birthday. She told us about that
You guys
yesterday.
were listening
I
yesterday.
was listening,
Good.
Rachel.
Thank
We're going
you.
to do it up big. Starbucks definitely got the memo. They're now releasing some new pink drinks.
Ooh.
Their new Valentine's drinks are chocolate-covered strawberry cream frappuccinos and a chocolate hazelnut cookie cold brew, which
Ooh,
sounds
that does
good.
sound good.
Yeah.
Very delicious. But this is not good enough to qualify as your only Valentine's gift to your love.
Are
so
you
it's
sure?
like, yeah.
I'd be happy with it, but I'm low maintenance. Yeah.
Say,
Like,
write this
look,
down. I'd be happy with that for
We're
a
all-
birthday gift too. Just
Oh,
saying.
okay. Good.
Yeah.
You say that now, but
We'll see. Maybe one a week.
Yes.
Throughout
Okay.
the month. How
All
about
right.
that? Okay, well, the final wave of artists performing at this year's Treefort Music Festival has been released. The full lineup includes nearly 440 performers. So clear that week in March. You have
Yes.
nothing else to do except this, and you can check them all out right now at KTVB.com to see that full list of who is coming to Boise.
Yeah, really cool. Just grows
So cool.
each and every year.
know.
People love it. Families, people of all ages. So if you're new to the area, check it out. Treefort.
And coming up, Hector Mendoza live at the scene of that Boise airplane hangar collapse. Here you see a live shot of it right now, just the wreckage there. Absolutely stunning. He's going to have the latest details.
It
for
is a devastating view this morning up close, and we're going to let you know what we know about that this morning. And here's a look at your weather from Rachel for the next 12 hours. We already broke a record today, people.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you believe that?
Good
She's
for
gonna
us.
Tell us more about that. It is awfully warm out there right now. 55 degrees. That is not an error. That's the real temperature.
You're watching Idaho's News Channel 7. This is Wake Up Idaho.
6:30 a.m. on your Thursday morning. Let's take a look at your traffic real quick. We want to remind you that Wright Street, which runs right next to the airport, closed this morning after that tragic hangar collapse. So you're going to need to take the Broadway exit if you're looking to get to the airport this morning. Elsewhere, though, roads looking pretty good. No major accidents or slowdowns right now.
All right, let's get right to Rachel at 6:30 and find out about this weather. It is so warm out there right now, Rachel.
Weirdly warm, right? We're all double checking the calendar, double checking our wardrobes as we head out the door. This was the observed high yesterday. This was the big headline for our weather on Wednesday. All-time warmest temperature ever observed in January in Boise, 66 degrees. That was our third day in a row of record-setting warmth, and now we've already made it 4 days in a row. 60 degrees at 4 o'clock this morning at the Boise airport, set a new temperature record for February 1st. Right now we're at 56 in the City of Trees, 52 in Twin Falls. Look at Sun Valley, 34 degrees. Looks like low clouds over Bald Mountain. You can see we do have some precipitation in the picture. That is high elevation snow around Sun Valley, rain across the lower elevations, and a heads up, we've just had an avalanche watch issued for the Sun Valley area and the surrounding mountains. These avalanche conditions are certain, they say almost certain, that we could see either natural or human triggered avalanches because of how warm we've been. And now we have the snow and the wind all combining. So conditions getting dangerous in the backcountry right now. We will have rain throughout the day today in Boise. Temperatures just kind of moderate out in the mid 50s throughout the afternoon. A much more persistent soaking rain comes in tonight as a cold front starts to move across the Gem State.
Thank you, Rachel, for that. 6:31, and we begin with our continuing coverage of breaking news right now. If you're just joining us, a private hangar under construction collapsed last night near the Boise airport.
Let's take a look at what the hangar looked like yesterday morning. As Maggie said, they were building it. There's most of the framework up, and then you see that picture of the collapsed structure. Also a crane involved in that, but just a pile of twisted metal there. We've been following this story closely ever since it happened around 5 o'clock last night. This is what we know. Boise Fire says 3 people are dead. 9 others hurt, and then 5 of those 9 who are hurt are in critical condition at local hospitals.
Our Hector Mendoza is live right near the Jackson Jet Center where that collapse happened with a new morning view of that scene. And Hector, just really tough to look at what's behind you there. What have we learned since this happened last night? What can you tell us this morning?
Well, right now this morning, we know that the crews are still out here. We have 5 or 6 separate cop cars just kind of monitoring the area. Again, Wright Street is continuing to be closed, but I'm going to step aside for just a second here so you guys can see the damage that was done yesterday due to the collapse of this building, as well as a crane that also partially collapsed alongside, again, injuring about 9 people, 3 in terms of people found dead in here at this particular situation. So again, Boise Division Fire Chief Aaron Hummel says that he found out about this collapse around 5 p.m. Boise Airport's director said that the project was in the early stages and only framework was up. Hummel says initial reports stated 30 people were working in the area and everyone in or around the collapsed area is accounted for. Boise Fire worked to reunite those people with their loved ones again. 3 people were killed, 9 injured, with 5 in critical condition this morning. Boise Fire says their crews that first responded worked to stabilize the chaotic situation and rescue multiple victims.
There were some technical rescues that they were having to make just based on where some of the victims were located in the collapsed area. There was some type of hoist of some sort that they were elevated. They had to conduct some sort of a technical rescue to get them down.
In a statement, a Jackson Jet Center spokesperson said, quote, "Our hearts go out to everyone affected by this horrific event, especially those with loved ones on site when this tragedy occurred. We're immensely grateful for the rapid and professional response of Boise Fire, Boise Police, and Ada County paramedics, along with the expert care of our area hospitals." Again, crews have been working here all night long, and they continue here. And again, Wright Street is continuing to be closed. Maggie, Justin?
All right, thank you for that, Hector. And St. Alphonsus said emergency and trauma teams did work closely with our first responders to provide immediate care and to treat patients arriving from the scene. A St. Luke spokesperson said it's treating one of those people who was injured at their Boise Medical Center. And neither Hummel nor the Jet Center say they know why the hangar collapsed. Many people have brought up the wind. That's being looked into. Whether the crane collapsed the hangar or maybe the hangar brought down the crane, we're just not sure. But a crane that appeared to be involved in that project did collapse as well.
Now, Chief Hummel could not say, again, if the crane was the cause of that or if it was just involved. They're continuing to look at that. You heard Jackson Jet Center's take on all this and their response. As Hector talked about, crews still on scene there, working that Wright Street that runs right in front of the airport, still closed right now this morning. We'll continue to check in with Hector throughout the morning as we continue to follow this breaking news and this developing situation. But we talked about the rescues that happened involved in this collapse, some technical rescues, as people involved in this might have actually been trapped on top of the wreckage. So we just want to thank all of the first responders who helped people and truly saved lives last night. That includes Boise Fire, Gowan Field Fire Department, Boise Police, and also the Ada County paramedics.
And of course, our doctors and nurses and staffers at the hospitals. And we looked into the city of Boise building permits and found the contractor on this project is called Big D Builders.
The Boise Airport also posted on social media saying, quote, "We understand that neighbors on our airfield are suffering tonight after this evening's incident. Our thoughts are with those involved and their families," end quote. Take a look. Here's another angle of the collapsed hangar that viewer Wendy Albright sent in as she was driving by. It looks like she was driving on Wright Street or maybe just on the interstate there. Showed that video. You can see that entire structure. The framing was up, but there was a significant amount of framing there. This was a huge structure and airplane hangar. It's just collapsed all on the ground right there this morning and in that video.
We have full coverage on our website right now at KTVB.com. We have learned some new information this morning about a homicide that happened in Nampa early yesterday. The Caldwell Police Department says a man was found dead with stab wounds in an alley on 3rd Avenue. That man has been identified as 29-year-old Abel Sayens from Caldwell. Police say one person is in custody, but they're still investigating, so they have not released the suspect's name. Charges are still pending, though, and police believe this was an isolated incident.
On to the Capitol Watch now. A bill to allow school staff to carry guns in school is halfway to the governor's desk. It passed the Idaho House yesterday with only a few Republicans voting against it. State law overrides local policy. So if a school district currently allows concealed carry but requires a certain class, say training with the county sheriff or any other requirements, this bill, if signed into law, would override all that.
And as written, the bill says any teacher, staff, or volunteer with an enhanced concealed carry permit can carry in any Idaho school. Schools can ask for additional training. They can promote it, and people carrying should want to do this.
But the proposed law would not mandate any of that. So if you get the permit, you get to carry. Lawmakers representing districts with policies are afraid that the law would undo the work that they currently require of people.
One of them I heard about in northern Idaho has 40 hours of training.
Everybody that's armed trains with the sheriff's department.
It is my sincere hope that it doesn't dilute or compromise what is already happening for good in our local districts. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, to get a concealed carry permit, Idaho law requires an 8-hour course. That can be done in one day, and time is split between classroom instruction, including a Q&A with a lawyer, to explain the legal risks of firing your gun.
People who want to carry are required to fire 98 rounds at a target and be given approval by a certified instructor. The bill sponsor says this is to establish really a minimum level of training for staff to carry a gun at school. He hopes districts organize, though, and promote additional training.
But again, the law would not make additional steps necessary.
Meanwhile, a bill that would make the words gender and sex mean the same thing under Idaho law is headed to the full House floor.
The House State Affairs Committee passed House Bill 421 yesterday, which would define sex to mean an individual's biological sex, either male or female. The bill would also define the word gender as a synonym to sex, and it creates legal definitions for words like boy, father, girl, and mother.
Representative Julianne Young, the bill's sponsor, says it's meant to provide clear definitions in order to help lawmakers set policies. 15 people signed up to testify at yesterday's hearing. All of them were opposed to the bill.
Such legislation poses a significant threat to the principles of equality, fairness, and individual autonomy. As an unapologetic woman of transgender experience, this legislation poses a personal threat to my humanity and to my fundamental right of dignity, well-being, equal opportunity, and safety in this state.
This bill would effectively erase my existence and the existence of others in my community.
The language that this legislation proposes will minimize or erase the experience of trans, gender-expansive, and intersex Idahoans.
Well, those were just a few of the people who testified, but they all echoed the same message, saying this bill will negatively impact the lives of people living here in Idaho.
Despite that opposition, the committee sent the bill to the full House floor with a do pass recommendation.
Planned Parenthood has released a statement responding to the bill passing. It reads in part, quote, "It's beyond troubling that our legislature feels comfortable bringing bills forward that make trans, non-binary, and intersex people beg to be recognized by the state that they live in and the communities that they're a part of."
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
Well, after wrapping up January with those 3 days in a row of record-setting warmth, it has been so comfortable lately. We've already set a temperature record for February, and we're only 6 hours and 41 minutes into the month. At 4 o'clock this morning, 60 degrees was observed at the Boise airport. That will be a new daily temperature record, breaking the previous record for February 1st of 59 degrees. So it is just unusually warm. Look at our current temperatures right now. Many places like Boise have very likely already seen the high temperature for today. We're at 56 in Boise right now, 47 in Ontario. It's been cooler in Ontario the last several days, and that certainly is the case right now. 52 in Twin Falls right now in our mountain locations, generally in the low to mid 30s. The difference for today, while we still have warmth, we still have wind. We're also now putting wet into the forecast for today. Today's forecast brought to you by the letter W. It has been a light rain across the I-84 corridor and portions of the lower Treasure Valley. turning over to some snow around Sun Valley. And this is significant because we have this warm weather that has caused a weakening snowpack. And now we have these gusty winds as well. So we just had an avalanche watch issued for the backcountry that stretches all the way down now to Fairfield. This entire area in orange under an avalanche watch through at least tomorrow morning. Very dangerous conditions setting up because of the wind and the weakened snowpack and now the heavy snow coming in. Winter weather advisories also in effect today and tomorrow because of the precipitation incoming. We have a low pressure system and a cold front off the west coast combining with this atmospheric river that has been bringing heavy rain to California. So the potential for snowfall in the mountains from today through tomorrow morning, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches. That's on valley floors as temperatures drop. And of course, above that 7,000 to 8,000 foot mark, we could see 8 to 10 inches of snow during that time frame. So temperatures today will again hover in the mid 50s. I'm calling these our expected highs this afternoon, but again, we've already likely seen observed high temperatures today. So we'll just hang out in those mid 50s in Boise with widespread rain showers throughout our Thursday. A more persistent rain likely tonight into tomorrow morning as that cold front comes in. Breezy conditions stick around and then temperatures start to drop. We'll hover in the mid 40s through the weekend with more wet weather early next week. We've got more Wake Up Idaho coming up right after this break.
It's 45 a.m. Let's take a look at your traffic right now. Things moving along relatively smoothly out there. Roads are dry as well, so it's a good time to leave the house. Also want to remind you, Wright Street, which runs right in front of the airport, that is closed this morning after that tragic hangar collapse. So you're going to need to take the Broadway exit if you're looking to get to the airport. We have a special guest in the studio with us right now to help kick off Black History Month.
That's right. It's Trish Walker, one of our favorite people, the CEO and founder of the Idaho Black Community Alliance. So welcome back to Wake Up Idaho, Trish.
Thank you for having me.
We're glad you're here. First of all, tell us what the Idaho Black Community Alliance is, for those who don't know.
So we started about almost 3 years ago.
Yes.
And we are a organization to support the Black professionals, Black business, Black community, the Black culture, and just to uplift our Black community in Idaho.
Fantastic. What do you guys have going on this month for Black History Month?
For Black History Month, starting today, we will be at Boise City, and so we'll be celebrating with them for Black History Month. We will also have different events, a series of events throughout the month. We will have entertainment and music. We will have a Black History concert. We will have a gala at the end of the month. And so we'll just be celebrating all month long.
That's wonderful. So how can people get involved? I know your Facebook page is a great way to find out what's going on with you all, but
you can either check out our website, you can check out our Facebook page. We're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn.
You're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
What is your website so that people can...
www.idahobca.com.
All right, idahobca.com. Check that out.
Yeah, we're scrolling through some of those like posts and all the stuff you have going on this month, and I'm trying to keep up, and it's like I can't.
There's a lot of fun happening.
I can't remember all this. There's a lot of stuff happening. So what's you talked about being at City of Boise today?
Today.
What's going on there?
From 5 to 7. So there'll be different businesses. There'll be different entertainment and just a social hour. It's first Thursday.
Oh, it's a good night to do it then.
It is.
So talk to us about how we can support the organization all year long, not just during Black History Month, but throughout the year.
Yes. You can support through volunteering. You can support through spreading the word, referring our businesses, and just supporting through your financial dollars.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
It really is.
How much progress do you think you've made here in 3 years now?
Oh my gosh, we have made so much progress. We have so many businesses that either just started. We have businesses that are opening their second location.
Nice.
We have businesses that are taking classes and going on to just new things in this community. So it's just amazing.
Well, we are glad you guys are here and just having all these wonderful events so we can all celebrate together.
Yes.
That's what's important, right?
It's very important.
And again, your website one last time.
www.idahobca.com.
All right, that's how you find out. And also Facebook. They've got a great Facebook page and social media, Instagram, where they're constantly posting about their events and how you can be a part of it and support. Thank you so much, Trish.
Thank
From
you.
the Idaho
Thank
Black
you for having
Community
me.
Alliance.
Thank you.
And it is Black History Month starting today.
6:51 on your Thursday morning. Quick traffic check shows things moving along okay out there this morning. We are, though, starting to see more and more brake lights on the interstate in those typical slowing spots around 10 Mile and Meridian and through portions of Nampa as well. So you may want to plan just a couple extra minutes as you head out the door this morning. And hey, if you're headed out around the block today, you may want to plan on a hooded jacket or an umbrella and maybe some wet paws for your walking buddy. Today's Walk Around the Block forecast brought to you by Blue and Blue's buddy Joe. Nikki submitted this picture of Blue and Joe, who say they go for a run almost every day. So Blue takes Joe on a walk, it sounds like. But hey, you might have some wet paws later, Blue, as we do have rain showers that are firing up now west and east of Boise, and we'll likely see that rain filling into Boise itself as our Thursday progresses. Not a lot of sunshine out there, but hey, temperatures pretty comfy. So if you don't mind a few sprinkles, if you just don't mind having that hooded jacket or the umbrella along with you on your walk, might not be a bad day for it, though you'll have some wind to combat again today as well. So we still have southerly winds in play. Look at the precipitation filling in from the south to the north. So again, widespread showers right now. Look at Bogus Basin, some snowflakes flying finally. Nothing accumulating yet at Bogus, but again, it might be too much of a good thing as we have avalanche watches in place now for the central mountains as we have weakened snowpack that is causing the possibility of avalanche danger over the next couple of days.
Thank you, Rachel. Here's your good news this morning. West Elementary School in Mountain Home, they celebrated marking 100 days of school this week, and wow, was it cute. The goal, to dress up like a 100-year-old and check out these adorable little old people and their teachers and staff. Look here, Mrs. Young and Mrs. Taruya really understood the assignment, didn't they? So many schools in our area celebrate this way on the 100th day of school, and it's really cute and fun. Congrats to all on making it to 100 days of the school year. Well, these lucky kids got to stop by Boise Firehouse 16. Boise Fire posted these photos on Facebook with this caption: small acts can have a big impact. Engine visits, station tours, a smile and a wave. As we drive by, we enjoy all the moments we get to spend with Boise's kids and Garden City's kids too. Thank you to our firefighters for always being positive role models for our kids. There's nothing quite like seeing a fire truck out on the road. My kids love it. I'm sure yours do too, and they always say hi. Meridian Middle School crossing guard Brian Beese is beloved at school. He was nominated for being an Idaho Lottery School Hero for protecting and caring for the students and the staff. On Friday, look at this, he was surprised with balloons and this sweetheart box filled with lottery goodies. Congratulations to Brian. They threw some scratch tickets in there too. Thank you for taking care of our kids. Well, if you have a Girl Scout in your life, this story is for you. Stella's Ice Cream posted this on Facebook. Hey, Girl Scouts, we're about to buy 1 billion boxes. Okay, not really, but they're going to buy quite a few. We will have a sweet opportunity for any Girl Scout to sell their cookies to Stella's. Swing by the Eagle, Nampa, Caldwell, Twin Falls, or downtown Boise stores Tuesday, February 6th. So this Tuesday, from 3 to 7 to sell those cookies. They'll be purchasing 2 boxes from each Girl Scout until they meet their quota. We want to hear your Girl Scout sales pitch, they say, and we will only be ordering in person. They're going to make some yummy ice cream with all those cookies. We will be right back.
.658 on this first morning of the month of February. Quick check of traffic conditions does show things moving along pretty well out there, though we are seeing some slowdowns in the typical spots along the interstate in particular. More and more brake lights popping up there. So you've got a lot of company on the roadways, so plan maybe a couple extra minutes. And we might have some rain on the windshield early this morning as well. Let's talk about your 3 things to know on the weather front. It's still very warm out there after that record-shattering 66 degrees in Boise yesterday. We've already set a high temperature record. We hit 60 degrees at the Boise airport at 4 o'clock this morning, making it officially now the warmest February 1st on record. Rain will come and go throughout the day today, and we're talking about high elevation mountain snow, which is creating avalanche concerns in the backcountry because of the snow coming in now on that weakened snowpack due to the warm temperatures and the gusty winds. So please, extreme caution is urged. Snow already flying around Sun Valley, Bogus Basin also seeing a few snowflakes right now. We have rain across our area again, which will continue as widespread showers. Later today, it'll be a more persistent rain. Temperatures in the 50s right now will hover in the 50s all day long, cooling off tomorrow with temperatures into the upper 40s.
3 people are dead, 9 people hurt, 5 of them in critical condition after a private hangar under construction collapsed near the Boise airport last night around 5 p.m. Here's what the hangar looked like as of yesterday morning after that collapse. Just a pile of twisted metal there.
And we've been following this story closely ever since it happened. This is a live look at how it looks this morning. It is so tough to see this wreckage and to see just how devastating this was. Our fire crews went in there and rescued people, and we are thinking of them this morning and also all the families impacted by this really traumatic event. We have full coverage on our website right now, ktvb.com.